was Darren Waller going to be a Green Bay Packer?
Holy shit.
When Davante Adams was traded to the Las Vegas Raiders, allegedly there are reports now out of, I believe, Nagler.
Yep.
And Jeff Howe is reporting that it would have been turned down by the league, which I don't understand how that would have worked.
Yeah,
but the Packers asked for Darren Waller as part of the Davante Adams trade per a source, says Jeff Howe. The Raiders weren't going to accept it. Sources also said at the time the league wouldn't have permitted a player swap in a trade for a franchise player in Davante Adams. I have no idea what that means. Is this like whenever the Adam Silver or David Stern, whichever one it was, turned down the Chris Paul to the Lakers trade, and they said, nah, I can't do it because they were part of ownership of the Pelicans team or whatever they were at the time, the Hornets?
Yeah.
Yeah, the NBA owned like a piece of the Hornets because I think it was before they were going to whatever new owner or new city they were in.
So they turned down a trade and said, no, that's not allowed. And then now we see other trades that happen, and it's like, so you're setting precedent. Would the NFL be setting a precedent there that they couldn't do that? And how would they be able to do that? That's not the story. The story, though, is Darren Waller going to be a Green Bay Packer? Are they really that interested? And how legit are all these sources, we think? And I heard you say it earlier, Darren Waller might be a Packer.
Yeah.
We're all in on this.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you pinball right from the – and we don't even know if there is like a Debo
he's a game
sweepstakes.
changer, by the way. Darren.
Yeah. Bingo. And I feel like Robert Tonyan was good, but like – Waller's a physical freak. The Packers haven't had a guy like that in, honestly, I don't think ever. I mean, not as athletic as he is. Like, he is a true number one receiving option. They're saying that the going rate would be like a second round pick potentially. So we'll see. I mean, allegedly they are still interested. I trust, Nags. I trust him. I think he's in good with the organization. He's been doing it for a long time, so he definitely knows people. So if there were rumblings, like, I would lean towards.
Maybe Nags?
I would lean towards being like, okay, there's something there, but we'll see. I mean, Derek Carr came out and quote tweeted it and basically said, like, never going to happen. But if they realistically don't think they could maybe get Debo, like, this would be another way. Hey, if you can give up a second round pick and get a guy like Darren Waller and you pay him, like, that's.
Once again, have to reiterate, Jarvis Landry's still a free agent.
Yeah. True.
Imagine if Aaron Rodgers goes from having Devontae, who he is going to miss, to Darren Waller and Jarvis Landry and whoever else is on that squad.
Yeah, Randall Cobb, Lazard.
Aaron Jones in the backfield.
Aaron Jones, A.J. Dillon.
I mean,
Tonyan's supposed to be healthy again. And then if they do use one of those first-round picks and get a receiver, an explosive young guy who doesn't have to come in and be the number one guy right away, like that, I'd be in heaven.
Look at this. This is what the draft week brings.
Exactly.
The draft week brings so much hope because your team could do every team could do something on draft night to change the entire, vision of what the season's going to be. Tone, I saw you get rattled a little bit there as you were piecing some things together.
I just realized that the Lizard King, Alan Lazard, is the Packers' number one wide receiver right now. Is that true?
Hey, he's a player.
Sure.
Hey, Lazard is a player.
He caught the record-breaking touchdown.
Yeah, he's a big guy, big body.
Right.
Him and Darren Waller probably similar body type.
They got to do something.
You can split out Aaron Jones.
Need a speedster.
Need one.
Absolutely need one, which is why the Debo thing is so enticing as well. But it's obviously it's either one or the other, or they're definitely not going to get either. There's no way they're getting Debo and Waller. So Waller seems like a little bit more realistic in terms of what they would be willing to give up.
Why would you give up Darren Waller if you're the Raiders, especially after all that you've gone in for? Like, they've gone all in. If they can afford Darren Waller, why would they want to get rid of Darren Waller?
I don't think they can afford him because he has like 1 year, $9 million left on his contract, and next year, obviously, he's going to get
this is the classic,
deal.
let's get something for him.
Right.
Boom, before we get nothing.
But what you're getting whenever people say you're getting nothing is you're getting Darren Waller on the football field, accounting for a double team, Davante Adams accounting for a double team, and then literally
Renfro.
Anything else you want to do for the rest of the fucking game. You're not getting nothing. Go ahead, Tom.
He's got this year 6.8. Next year is $7 million. So they're with him for two more years, 2 more seasons.
So
the Raiders ain't moving on, but
unless
he asks for a lot more money,
right?
And he's unhappy with the Raiders.
Tight end market. I mean, if you can afford salary cap's not real. You can afford to fit a tight end in there somewhere.
You talking about the Raiders?
Yeah,
and I don't know why you would get rid of.
He's been your entire offense.
Unless he's asking for money like George Kittle or
which
$100 million.
Yeah.
But even then, you
or
can
Kelsey.
backload it. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, so that's like a 5-year deal then, $20
Yeah.
million a year. They probably don't have $20 million a year anywhere, right?
No.
Because they just brought in a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And they want to bring back Renfro too, because his contract's up after this year as well, and he doesn't have a 5th year option.
Kittle's getting paid like 19, 18, 19, 20 a year.
Darren Waller has,
Oh, yeah.
I believe the tight end university would be pumped if Darren
Sure.
Waller was like, hey, we got to go get this again because he's one of the guys
Oh,
who
yeah.
could.
For
Who has
sure.
the potential to be it. There's a lot of great tight ends in the NFL. I think that is something that everybody realizes. But there are a couple that have the ability to go break the bank. And I think Darren Waller is one of them because there was a few games there where he was the only target for like 4 quarters.
Yeah.
All 4 quarters, he was the only person getting the ball thrown to him because he was able to be lined up in every primetime game felt like a Darren Waller game. Mm-hmm. Every time they were on primetime, it felt like Darren Waller was going to go. I had no idea he was potentially on the move. He's coming to the Colts then.
Oh.
You think so?
I think he's coming to the Colts.
Yeah, they pay
Jack
guys to
Doyle
come
just
in.
retired.
Yeah, that
yeah.
makes sense.
Well, they
Actually.
they re-upped Mo Alley Cox though. Big
Okay,
extension.
I don't care. Yeah, fucking
True.
double them up. Boom, bang, boom. You guys signed literally 2 tight ends
That's
to
true.
max contracts.
Huge deals.
Up there in New England. So, I mean, let's not. I'm okay with Matt Ryan slicing and dicing down the seams with 2 tight ends. I'm a complete. Jack Doyle just retired. Be perfect. Bring him in. The Packers allegedly were asking for Darren Waller as well as a first-round pick alongside it for Davante Adams. Now it's coming out via reading the news and clauses and everything like that a franchise tag player cannot get traded for a basic-ass, regular-ass on-contract player. It is in the rules, so it would have been nixed to begin with, but allegedly that's what the Packers were asking for because the tight end market obviously lower than the top-end wide receiver market. They would be okay with paying Darren Waller, which is what you would have to do, not okay with paying Davante Adams, and you get a number 1 wide receiver in return. Now, that obviously did not happen. The rumors of it still potentially taking place, maybe on draft night or out there. Ty Schmidt's getting excited. I believe Packers fans are getting excited. And Derek Carr said, LOL, put your little fucking cheese heads on a sad face because there's no chance of that happening. AJ, your thoughts of this entire thing? That's a game changer if the Packers were to get him. And there has to be some sort of fire with all this smoke that's coming out from this.
I would hope, or maybe, first off, does Derek Carr have that power to shut down a trade if someone, or shut down like this happening?
Yeah, 1 tweet, dude. Josh
Either way, it's
McDaniels.
great. When this cat was popped up, I was probably like Ty. I got excited. I was like, you know what? I started picturing Waller running routes up the seam and just whoever they put on him, he's creating huge issues and opening up other parts of the offense. So I think it would be awesome if they can make it work, but I'm sure it's a lot more difficult than we think.
Hey, Darren Waller.
Draft night, Friday night trade, maybe during the spectacular.
They said a second rounder is what they're thinking it will cost. He's $6.8 million and then like $7 million or something the next 2 years. I forget what the exacts are, but it's not a lot of money. He's going to want to renegotiate that. We assume that is why he is leaving or thinking about leaving the Raiders. Because if you're the Raiders, why would you ever fucking move on from Darren Waller? You just got Davante. Now you got 2 guys that are going to command a double team, and you got Hunter Renfro and Josh Jacobs in the back, and Derek Carr's on a new contract and offensive line. Why would you want to get rid of him? I guess it would mean that he's probably looking for a new contract now. Like, hey, I deserve a lot more than I'm currently being paid. And maybe the Packers can afford it. Maybe they can't. But Jarvis Landry's still a free agent. Darren Waller over there. Lazard, who's a dog. He's over there. I mean, that all of a sudden becomes a very... like, oh, shit, the Packers' offense is all the way back, even though they lost the best wide receiver in the game. That is just what the draft brings, though, that type of hope, AJ. Like, that type of hope is in a lot. Like, for instance, why don't we fucking bring in Darren Waller?
Yeah.
And then we get Jarvis Landry, and then we got Mo Alley Cox still there, Jonathan Taylor in the back. I mean, there's, like, so much of that. In
Are
these
you saying all you have to give up for Darren Waller is a second-round pick?
That's what they were saying, allegedly.
Those are
That's
the
it.
reports.
I'm doing that right now.
Right, yesterday,
And I'll
AJ.
tell him, hey, yeah, don't worry. We'll take care of you, too, after this season. We'll most likely re-up you as well.
Yeah, you'll say that, you'll tell him that, or you'll actually do that. It sounds like you were, like, kind of setting him up
I'll
for,
tell
like...
you, he has 2 years left. No, you come out here and you are Darren Waller. You're going to get the deal you deserve.
Actually, here's a deal. All right, here's the exact deal you will get. We will even modify it for the current climate of tight ends. If you get this amount of yards, this amount of touchdowns, we accomplish this. Here's the deal you will get. We cannot give you that right now because we don't know you. All right, we have no idea. Hey, how are you going to like Green Bay? Are you going to fucking like being in Green Bay? It is very cold up here. Or is it just going to become something that's okay and then move along? I feel like that would be fair, but nobody would agree to that. They want the deal before they get traded, I think. Go ahead, Ty.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I assumed. Yeah, Packers fans obviously would be ecstatic with getting him, and that's they picked up another second-round pick from the Raiders, but the whole like you said, why would he want to leave unless he's unhappy with what he's being paid right now? And you would assume that whenever this trade is completed, that he's going to want a new deal right away. And I was always thinking that the Packers weren't going to do this, but people keep saying like, well, they offered to pay Davante, so maybe they will actually like look into doing something like
But,
this.
hey, Mark Murphy said draft night could get interesting.
Yeah, it did.
Was that after the Davante Adams trade, Darren Waller thing fell through?
Thought it was after.
It definitely was after Davante got traded. He said
Mark
that.
Murphy spent all last offseason sending emails telling the Packers fans Aaron Rodgers is a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
This offseason, he learns that he may be trading Davante Adams for Darren Waller. The league says can't happen. Mark Murphy then says to everybody, hey, draft night could get interesting. Okay, don't you worry about that. Wow, Darren Waller to the Packers draft night. That's crazy.
Yeah.